I've heard people like to blast. Kinda low-key enjoying it. It's not my most preferred thing, but it's really enjoyable. So I made a loadout with every weapon set to the blast. So everyone, melee enthusiast, primary enthusiast, secondary enthusiast, can use that. And I think I did a pretty good job with that. Just watch this quick showcase and I'm gonna go over the builds. I will also provide you alternative to each weapon slot with the same general idea of modding. But before we go into the builds, one very important thing to mention. Rivens, like the one I used for the previous video with OcuCore, hit cold. This kind of Rivens, for any blast build, they're gonna be very, very good. It saves you a mod slot. So if you have a Riven with hit cold, you can do way better build just because you have one free mod slot. Frame I picked for this, Gauss, of course, one of my favorites, so why not? And he has amazing toolkit for this. I swapped his Mud Crash for Nourish, so I have Viral for free, and I'm using the Thermal Sunder with a bit of ability strength and the Thermal Transfer Augment mod. So that gives me 2 buffs for 150 each, and those are the best for the blast. So we have Viral and we have Blast. A lot of blast damage. And thing with Gauss is we need multi efficiency as Arcane to get as much ability duration as we possibly can, because his red line will provide us with crazy amount of fire rate, attack speed, reload speed, wherever you're gonna be needing for whatever weapon you're gonna be using. Either you use melee for attack speed or the other slots for the fire rate. And the fire rate is quite crazy, 265% fire rate, it's insane. And the other slot of arcanes is quite flexible. Multi-efficiency is not that, like, you don't really have to go with it, so you can go like Arcane Avenger, and other arcane can be like, depending on what weapon you're gonna use. Acceleration for the primary, for the rifles, you can use Fury for the melee weapons, it's completely up to you. But remember, if you have Avenger and your red line is on 100 and you have kinetic plating, you kind of have to like take some damage. So that basically means you're gonna have to drop kinetic plating in order to take some damage, and then you can just instantly recast this again, obviously. And if you don't wanna drop Macrash, well, it's gonna be problematic, because every weapon will lose a lot of blast damage, since you need Nourish. Because if you have Blast, which is not like guaranteed, or somehow innate on your weapon, you will not be able to get your viral otherwise, because cold. So, well, you will have to sacrifice Macrash or not use Nourish, but I instantly tell you, not using Nourish, insane damage loss. For the primary, I will start with the less flashy one that I showcased in the start of the video, which is the Tenet Glaxion. I have it with, I farmed it up with Sarin, so I have Toxin on it, so I put Blast, and then I put high voltage to get the corrosive off. And the idea of building every single weapon in primary and secondary slot gonna be galvanized mod for the multi-shot, galvanized for status chance if the damage is not for radial type, which is the explosion. So multi-shot and critical delay vital sense for the critical strike. And let's take a look how it performs one more time. Can try to headshots, but I never do try to headshot with chaining weapon. Well, it should be way better now, since we have the primary merciless stacked now. Yep, everything just starts to die immediately. But as much as I hate to say Torrid in every video for any type of thing, well, Torrid is our second pick, because it's just a superior weapon to any weapon. It's just unfair how easy it is also to get the Incarnon on it, how much damage it does, and overall Torrid is unfair, but since we have easy buff to blast, to get the blast, well, just look at the Torrid's performance and you're gonna realize instantly why it's just one of the best weapons in Warframe, without question. And you don't necessarily need the corrosive, so you can swap it to Rifle Elementalist and Hammershot. But I'm limited with what polarities I have on my Torrid, so I will stick to corrosive. But this and blast build will obviously be like required in every single loadout for every single blast, depending on secondary, primary, rifle, shotgun, melee. I'm just very limited with the polarities I have and the fact I don't have Riven, because the Riven giving you that free slot is just a cry out to put the rifle elementalist or other elementalist mod in, depending what you have the Riven for. And to make it any fair, I'm just gonna show you Torit with the Incarnon without stacking the primary Merciless, because we all probably know how it's gonna look like. Yeah, Torit is very fair. And since I picked Gauss for the frame, I couldn't think of any other weapon than his signature, Acarius. It has a lot of blast damage by baseline on it, on the radial attack, which is the part of the attack we really care about, that weapon. It has many flaws, but I really do love that weapon, especially with frames that have like immunity to knockdown. If you don't have the immunity to knockdown, with Prime Fulmination, the 11 meters explosion radius gonna annoy the fuck out of you, so careful. And yeah, that would be a different mode if I had different polarity. That would be Hornet Strike. But well, I went for the primed heated charge for the fat damage increase from it, and Frostbite. Prime target cracker, creeping bullseye because of the good stats for the crit. The Avenger would make it just perfect. And standard diffusion, lethal torrent. Make sure your kinetic plating is on. And jump for the best angle. This one cries out to have the secondary Merciless on, I'm not gonna lie. The difference is huge. I totally forgot it auto aims. Let's do it one more time. The ammo efficiency on this weapon is horrid. Let's see how it primes, because our dog also like primed a lot. So it would be better for less tanky units than Exogokstad. I'm actually gonna try on a bit less tanky ones, because it's a excellent pack cleaner, but into anything but this type of tanky unit. What would we use? Station. Let's see the charger. We can like get rid of those pretty quick with that. I'm just gonna shoot without buffing. Yeah, I mean, infested is really paper. Like you should never bother to even like have element according to their weakness. They are just paper. Let's use some other linear unit. Something that will maybe survive one hit. Just gonna use the heavy gunner, I guess. Yeah, they are way less tanky than the Oxford officers, but... Oh, the blast went in so beautifully. Perfect. Oh, and look, this is the issue when you don't have kinetic plating. The range is just... Yeah. You better have any kind of knockdown immune on Aero, Prime Surefooted, anything. And I think the Ocucore I showed in the previous video will have to reappear here, because it's the perfect way to show you the power of having a Riven. Even though I have no Elementalist here, because I'm really short on the mod slots for this one, Signed Sentient Surge is just better than melee Elementalist in case of Ocucore. It's just a crazy augment mod, not gonna lie. Like, you can freely... I mean, honestly, if you play Arcane for the damage from headshots, you can swap Hornet Strike and get the Pistol Elementalist. And let's see the beautiful Ocucore one more time. Need to get some first kills before. Ah, the tentacles had so much power to it, like... That's what I mean, you can't really change Sentient Surge ever for melee Elementalist, because look the difference now. And I couldn't stop myself from showing one more for the secondaries. and the Kuvanu core, including the Tenet Cyclone with the same exact builds, well, they are very good alternative to OQ core because I know that the Sentient Surge is a problem to acquire. So, okay, let's see how Kuvanu core will deal with them. Well, maybe the secondary Merciless is after all tenfold better than Cascadia Empowered. Okay, this time I have secondary Merciless with some stacks. Wish I had Riven with Punch Through. Well, using secondaries on the most tanky unit in the game, not very impressive, but trust me, if you use it on anything that's more towards the paper state, it's gonna be beautiful. Actually, I take it back, I forgot about a simple thing called Critical Strike. Yeah, my bad. This is the build we need. And for the melee, I'm gonna use Halical Wraith since Barrow just brought it, so I think it's gonna be perfect for the time this video goes out. And the build is pretty simple. It has a lot of blast damage by baseline, but we still go for the Volcanic Edge and Vicious Frost for status, and for the blast from mods, since we're gonna want to have Voltaic Strike. And we're gonna want that, obviously, for the melee influence. The other mods are the standard drone weapon mods, from Killing Bro, Amalgam Organ Shatter, Sacrificial Steel, and Power Throw, since it's one of the most crazy damage multipliers we can get. And of course, Volatile Quick Return for the crazy range on the explosion. Exilus slot is very flexible. I like Whirlwind for the range on the throw, because compared to Glaive, it's like nearly half as far it goes without Whirlwind. Or we can use, my second favorite at least, is Dispatch Overdrive, but feel free to use anything you want here, or nothing at all. I'm not even sure if there is a point to show you how a melee weapon in this current melee meta performs, because it's quite obvious thing. It's gonna just completely obliterate them. Oh, you see, I just wanted to say I just need melee influence, but well, you throw it with melee influence, everything dead. Typical melee weapon. And Orville is gonna be our second pick, since I'm trying to keep the idea of pretty free weapons, not like some glaive for Giga Platinum price. You get it baseline by just doing your main quest line, and literally same build, same mods, and let's see. Well, I skipped it till I have the melee influence proc, because we get it. We throw it couple of times to get the X3, we throw it once, boom, everything that typical melee. I will do one more melee as well, since I really wanted to do at least one build with the Elementalist mod in it. And why Neferi? Because I wanted to pick a weapon that no one will expect to see. That's like not very used weapon, not very popular, but in my opinion not very good, so you have a reason why, but it's quite fun to use. And this is here only because I have this polarity here, and I don't really have an idea what else I would put, so it's gonna do just fine. And I decided to make third build for the primary as well, since I did for the secondary and melee, and it's gonna be none other than the Ignis Wraith. And also we're gonna have Elementalist on it, since we have innate hit, 2 critical strike mods, 2 galvanized mods, rhyme rounds, vigilante armaments, and amalgam serration with sinister reach in the Exilus. And let's first see the Ignis performance. Now, Ignis will take some time to get the primary Merciless, I'm gonna lie, but once we get it, and once our primer dog does his work, it becomes quite trivial to kill. Let's see it again. Trust me, if it's not the tankiest unit on Steel Path, everything's just gonna explode. And now for the last thing, and I truly believe, by the way, that the melee weapons are the best for the blast things, since melee influence is really broken mod. Here we go. Melee influence up. I should at least put Arcane Fury, but I don't think we need. It's a fun thing with these fireballs. Not gonna lie, I really enjoy that gimmick on the weapons a lot. Could probably do that also with Syam, but I'm gonna limit it to up to 3 weapons. So everything you have in your imaginations, up to the testing. Just give me the melee influence, man. Oh, I mean the moment melee influence. It's so broken, the moment it procs, everything's just dead. Let me get the red line a bit higher. Look at, like, I mean, this is so amazing with melee influence. Especially that it is punched through with these fucking fireballs. So fun. God damn it, I couldn't stop myself. Let's do it as a bonus. The Syam. Vicious Frost, Prime Pressure Point, Volcanic Edge, Shocking Touch, Amalgam Organ Shatter, Condition of course, Syam Riven, and Sacrificial Steel. But the best thing about this one is the heavy wave is heat. So now it's gonna be blast. And it's a guarantee. So once we have melee influence proc, it should blast. And to be fair, one more change, since I want an elementalist, like forced on it, and I don't need prime pressure point, because I just put Arcane Fury to Gauss instead the Arcane Acceleration. I just couldn't stop myself from including Syam to the video since it's one of my favorite weapons. Just give me that influence. Oh my god, it cleaned them quick. You know what? Let's use the melee god with the Syam melee influence set. Let's just get the influence real quick. And let's get our dog to prime them at least a bit. Look. What? Like, why did they die? Well, I don't know, but they will die again. Such a lovely thing whenever you use melee and Kullervo, you know? Just give me that. Oh, here we go. I'm just gonna use this. And one more time. And one more time. Never gets boring. Well, that's all from me for now, so I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, please like, comment, share and subscribe, and as always, see ya in the next one.